Hi guys, we are learning about terms, the degree of a polynomial, the coefficients of a polynomial, the leading term, and the leading coefficient, and the constant. We may have some other words later, but for now, we want to know about the terms of a polynomial, the degree, the coefficients, the leading term, the leading coefficient, the constant. So on Desmos, I listed the definitions for each of these words. So I'm going to go over them. And I also included a model problem in Desmos. So I'm going to do this one with you, but you also have another model problem, which you can look and be able to do your own homework. Okay? So looking at this polynomial, okay? Looking at this polynomial, 2x to the third power minus 4x to the fifth power plus 3x to the second power minus 5x plus 4. Okay, what does term mean? Okay, so in this polynomial, each of these is a term. Okay, this is a term, that's a term, that's a term, that's a term, that's a term. Each of these is a term. Okay, so 2x to the third is a term. Now, I cannot say 4x to the fifth. I have to say negative 4x to the fifth is another term. Positive 3x, so 3x squared, that's another term. Now, this is not 5. This is, let's count it as negative 5. So, negative 5x is a term. And also 4 is another term. So, how many terms it has? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. Okay? So now that we've dealt with the terms, we're going to go to the degree. Okay? So, what is the degree of a polynomial? The degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent in that polynomial. The highest exponent is the one that are in red. This one also has an exponent, but it's an invisible one. Okay? So, the degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent in that polynomial. What is the highest exponent here? 5. Okay? 5 is the highest exponent, so therefore the degree of this polynomial, the degree is, let me put it in black, the degree of this polynomial is 5. Or we can write fifth degree. Okay? The degree of this polynomial is 5. Why? Because 5 is the highest exponent in that polynomial. Okay? So when they ask you for the degree, give them the highest exponent. The exponent are the numbers at the top, right? Give them the highest one. So that's the degree of this polynomial. Okay? So this is a fifth degree polynomial. Okay? Now, let's go to coefficient. We know about the coefficient is the number in front of a letter or the variable. 2 is a coefficient. It's in front of a variable. Negative 4 is a coefficient. Why? Because it's in front of a letter of a variable. Positive 3 is a coefficient because it's in front of x squared. Negative 5 is a coefficient because it's in front of x to the first power. 4 is not a coefficient. It doesn't have a letter. So the coefficient is the number in front of a letter, in front of a variable. Okay? So, now let's go to leading term. The leading term, you see, we said that these are terms, right? Terms, that's the first term, That's one term, that's another term, that's another one, that's another one, that's another one, another one. The leading term is the one that has the highest exponent. So you think because this is in the front, it would be the leading term? No. The leading term is the term that has the highest exponent in it. Notice that would be the leading term because it has the highest exponent. Okay? So the leading term of this polynomial, it would be, now don't just put 4, you have to put negative 4 x to the 5th power. That's the leading term of this polynomial. It's the term, this is a 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 term, but the leading term is the term with the highest exponent. So that's why I chose this one. Okay? Now, leading coefficient. We know coefficient is the number in front, right? 2, negative 4, 3, negative 5. The coefficient is the number in front of the letter, right? But now they're asking you for the leading coefficient. So therefore, the leading coefficient is always in front of the leading term. Once you find the leading term, the leading coefficient is the number in the front of the letter with the highest exponent. So that would be negative 4. So the leading coefficient is negative 4 because it's situated in front of the variable with the highest exponent, right? Leading term is the term which has the highest exponent. But the leading coefficient is the number in front of the leading term. Okay? So, constant. The constant stands alone. It stands by itself. It doesn't have a letter next to it. There it is, 4. That's the constant, 4. Okay? So, now that we've learned about these terms, there are some other terms I want to talk about. Let me erase those. You could always go back to that video to look it over, okay? Now, let's talk about the linear term. The linear term. What does that mean? Okay? Linear term is the term. You see, we said this is a term, this is a term, this is a term, this is a term. Linear term is the term that have the x with the invisible 1. Okay? The leading term is the term, one of these, the term that has the first power, the invisible 1, which you don't usually see. So that would be considered the leading term. Sorry, not the leading, the linear. Okay, so in this one, the linear term would be negative 5x. That would be the linear term because it has the x with the invisible 1. So linear term is the term that has the x with the invisible 1 as the exponent. So in this one, that would be the linear term, but take it with the sign in the front. So negative 5x is the linear term for this polynomial. Okay. Now, quadratic term. The quadratic term is the term with the square. Okay? Is the term which has the x squared, which has the 2 as an exponent. So this is not the quadratic term. This is not. There it is. It has the square, x squared. So the quadratic term would be 3x squared. That's the quadratic term for this polynomial. Linear term is the term with the x, with the invisible 1 exponent. Quadratic term is the term that has the x squared in it. So the quadratic term for this polynomial is this one because it has the square. Okay? So that's basically what you need to know to be able to do your homework. Now, one last thing we need to know for your homework is, let me erase this, is to write the polynomial in standard standard form. Okay, standard form. Right now it's not in standard form. Okay, it's written, but it's not in standard form. Standard form means this polynomial have to be written with the exponent going down. Notice this one 3 is going up, but it went down again. No, it cannot be like that. It's not in standard form. For it to be in standard form, it has to be from the highest going down. Okay, so going down from left to right. The exponents have to be going down from left to right. So I'm going to put this one first. Negative 4x to the fifth. Now, 5 is the highest. I have to put the second highest. Which one is the second highest? There it is. So I'm going to put, since this is positive, I'm going to put plus 2x to the third. Notice it's going down. 5, 3. What's the next one? There it is. So plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 4. Right now, it's in standard form. Why? Because the exponents are going down. 5, 3, 2, invisible 1, none. Right? The exponents are going down. That's why this is written in standard form. Now, over here, it's not in standard form, but here it's in standard form. Okay? So standard form, to write a polynomial in standard form, the exponents have to be going down from left to right. 5, 3, 2, invisible 1, none. Okay? So that's all you need to know to be able to do your homework. If you have any question, you can always email me. I will be happy to answer your questions. Okay? I will be grading your homework. So please send your homework. Those of you who are not sending in homework, it's going to work against you at the end when I have to give you a grade for the marking period. So please turn in your homework so that you may have a good grade. Okay, guys? Have a nice day. And you can always go back to the video to watch how I did it. And you also have a model problem, just like this one, okay, in Desmos. Okay, guys? Bye-bye.